Good day and welcome to the Sport Rap Show. This is your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, unpacking the latest on Sport Rap. And now for your latest on the hit list. The Ohangwena Governors Cup, which concluded on Sunday evening, saw Eenhana constituency win the floating trophy in the athletics category, while Engela and Okongo constituencies came second and third respectively. The cup was launched by Ohangwena Regional Governor Walter Ndevashia and Sports and Youth Minister Agnes Shongarero on Friday at the Eenhana Sports Stadium. The competition was hosted in partnership with PST Bet. The event attracted 850 athletes from different sport codes such as athletics, boxing, soccer and netball. The Oshikunde constituency scooped the award for the best men's football team, for which they received a floating trophy and gold medals, while Omandangilo constituency took second place and Okongo constituency took third place. In another win for the Eenhana constituency, the women's football team were declared the winners, for which they received trophy, gold medals. Omulonga constituency took second place and received silver medals, while Okongo constituency took bronze medals for their third place. Queen's coach Nangolo Samuel is not pleased with the omission of players from the Northern Club after 43 women provincial training squad for the Brave Gladiators was announced recently. The squad is gearing up for the African Women's Olympics qualifying football tournament. The Gladiators will compete in the first round qualifiers against Equatorial Guinea on 13 July at the Dobonsville Stadium in Johannesburg, and away on 18 July at the Malabo Stadium in Equatorial Guinea. 2 weeks ago, the Namibian Sun Sports Desk highlighted the lack of scouts attending the FNB Women's Super League. Now the recently called up technical side is being blamed for a lack of the northern representation in the selected squad. Questions raised, according to Samuel, there is insufficient information about the players' performances, and this has robbed them of a chance to feature in trials. Samuel said the selectors could have chosen at least 3 players to feature in trials to show other players in the region that they are also good enough to qualify for the national team. We will now go for a short break before the hit list continues. The Dion Hotto Foundation is to host a charity sports tournament. The Dion Hotto Charity Cup will see 16 soccer and 10 netball teams compete in 2 sport codes, namely soccer and netball, at the Mondesa Stadium in Swakopmund from 23 to 25 June. According to one of the event organizers, Carl Pessert, the occasion aims to showcase talent and sportsmanship and raise funds to support various charitable initiatives. We are hosting the Dion Hotto Foundation because we believe in using the power of sports, football and netball. The registration fee for the soccer teams is set at 800 Namibian dollars and 600 Namibian dollars for netball teams. The winning soccer team will walk away with 8,000 Namibian dollars, including a Dion Hotto kit. The runner-up will pocket 5,000, including a Dion Hotto kit. Third place winners will scoop 3,000 Namibian dollars, including a Dion Hotto kit. The winning netball team will walk away with 5,000 Namibian dollars and 3,000 for the runners-up. The closing date for the registration is today. Namibian Director of Rugby and National Head Coach Alistair Coetzee has announced the following list of players invited to the first of 2 training camps ahead of the international season. While some overseas-based players will join for the second camp at Swakopmund in July, the following players will assemble in Windhoek from Saturday 26 June. As you can see there on the screen, Jason Benaid, Gerard Versaghi, Casper Vivers, Mahepisa Sheriko, Shuve Wanivi, Peter Dirgat, Max Kashiteo, Richard Hartberg. We have also Desarius Sethi, Wiekus Jacobs, Herman Agenberg, Adrian Ludik, Tian de Klerk, Prince Gozep, Johan Retief, Johan Ludik. We also have Jacques Teron, Tian Swanepoel, JC Greiling, Dago, that is Danko Berger, Johan Deisel, Gershwin Maton. We also have, that is Oela Blow, PJ Walters, Helian Biekers, Chait Platus, and more. Andrew Pullman was at a press conference today and has this video for us.
And once they show us with the senior players, the influence they will have when they get together with the under-20s, it's a massive change, and that's how you develop players and teams, you know. So that is, those are the names, 35, and obviously as you can see in the red, those are players still in rehabilitation. So we monitor. Some of them is out of the red to orange or to yellow now, close to green. So these guys will do the indoor stuff with us in the team building sessions during our camps. And hopefully, I heard this morning from the physio that 2, Tomaso Forbes and Leslie Klim and Seti, they return to trainers next week, so which is good news for us. Yeah, those are the names, and I'll explain the young gun situation there. As you can see, the overseas-based players there, if you can tick them off there, you have Gerard Versaghi, we've got Casper, we have Chewy and V, we've got Tian Swanepoel, we've got Johan Deisel, we've got Jason Nell from Griquas. We've got Herman Achenbach, he comes from the MRR as well in America. His club is finished, that's why his name is there. We've got Tian de Klerk, we've got Adrian Ludik, we've got Johan Retief, we have then the under-20s, we've got PV Steenkamp, he's also playing overseas. This boy, Shifuku Aitembu, he's at the Leopards. We played against him. This guy, Venan Breitenbach, he's played for the Rhinos in the Mzansi Cup. And Ruan Ludik overseas. And yeah, that's that. And the rest of the boys are local boys. And those guys played in the Mzansi Cup. So it was a nice blend of the overseas based and the local boys. And so it will be on the second camp as well. I think the big thing is to make sure that we have enough youngsters and enough experienced players. And if I can just give you a total in terms of players who've played in the previous World Cup in 2019, players who've played in the French top 14, players who've played Super Rugby, and players who've played Super Rugby when South Africa was still in the Super Rugby. We've got about 22 of those kind of caliber players in both camp squads. 22 of them have got that experience, which is always good. When you go to World Cups, that's what you need. It's a short competition, a 1 month competition. So there's actually no time to develop at the World Cup. That's why most countries will always fall back onto their senior players. And some people say, but why do you? It's because they've been there before. They understand the pressures. They understand what it takes, to compete there. It's really a test. It tests everything mental. It tests your conditioning. It tests your rugby detail, so it's a test and everything. And you have to have those kind of players who have been tested before and understand, which is good, and I'm really pleased with that.
That was Alistair Coutier. Good luck to the team and to those that have been selected. We will now visit the marketplace, and after that it is Golden Oldies.
The next days are not a measurement of time, but the distance from here to the finish line. For the race you are running, for your kids, your career, your health, your future. Not away, but towards it. While the voice in your head reminds you it won't be easy. But by simply swinging your feet towards the floor, you've taken the first step. Grow for it with Stamino Grow. 5-in-1 supplement available at all leading pharmacies.
Our golden oldies for this week is none other than Bimbo Shihero. In the dying minutes of a COSAFA Cup qualifying round match between Namibia and South Africa in January 1998, stalwart defender Bimbo Shihero scored one of the most iconic free kicks in Namibian football history. Bafana Bafana, as the neighboring team is affectionately known, were leading 2-1 at the Independence Stadium in Windhoek, with locals praying to the football gods for a miracle. It took a stunning effort from a man who had played most of his career for Liverpool FC in Okahanja to bring the scores level before Berlin Okumep snatched a late winner to send the crowd into wild celebrations. It was Shihero's long-range free kick which became the talk of the town even years after he had sealed Brave Warriors' incredible comeback. Eyes and mouth wide open, Shihero sprinted down the field after his magical goal as the stadium erupted into cheers. Born on 1 December 1969, Shihero remains one of the rare talents who has never plied his trade for a club outside Namibia. He began his career at African Stars from 1987 to 1990 before joining Liverpool FC in 1990. There he remained until his retirement in 2000. Being part of arguably Namibia's most talented squad, Shihero attracted interest from clubs in Egypt and South Africa, but he always remained loyal to Namibia and Namibian legends. He has been at NBC working there as a marketing officer, and he has done a great job. Shihero will always be remembered for one of the best moments in Namibian football history that took place. That was at the Independence Stadium. He still says he is proud of that moment and will never forget how the stadium and the crowd went abuzz after that goal. Le Rugby Joel is up next after the break. Stay tuned.
It takes heart and all the soul. A head stuck in the game. It takes every bone in your body, all the blood in your veins. And then more blood, and more sweat, more tears. All your hopes and your dreams. It takes conquering fears. It's late nights and weekends. 6 to 6s, 9 to 5s. It takes sacrifice and suffering every moment of our lives. It takes kick after kick. Being kicked when you're down. It takes fighting for hours for inches of ground. It takes every last line out, every last second spent. It takes absolute devotion. It takes 100%.
Now, as the World Cup looms, Le Rugby Joel has been taking you through some of the stories that are making headlines ahead of the World Cup. One that's making headlines right now is that Japan veteran Michael Leitch said Tuesday he believes his team can win this year's Rugby World Cup, claiming they have the best side the country has ever produced. The Brave Blossoms reached the quarterfinals for the first time on home soil 4 years ago, beating Ireland and Scotland before losing to eventual champions South Africa. Former captain Leitch believes they can go all the way at this year's tournament in France, asking reporters, if not now, when? Japan have been drawn in Pool D with England, Argentina, Samoa and Chile at the World Cup, which kicks off in September. Leitch is aiming to appear at his 4th World Cup, having made his tournament debut in 2011. The 34-year-old captained the Japan team that stunned South Africa at the 2015 Rugby World Cup. That was it from Lejol.
It takes heart and all the soul. A head stuck in the game. It takes every bone in your body, all the blood in your veins. And then more blood, and more sweat, more tears. All your hopes and your dreams. It takes conquering fears. It's late nights and weekends. 6 to 6s, 9 to 5s. It takes sacrifice and suffering every moment of our lives. It takes kick after kick. Being kicked when you're down. It takes fighting for hours for inches of ground. It takes every last line out, every last second spent. It takes absolute devotion. It takes 100%.
This May, choose brand new. Choose drama and deceit.
I'm very attracted to you. Oh. Would you be interested in having an affair?
Choose fights and fallouts.
I won, and that was right.
I brought the heat. I mean, I'm gonna destroy you.
Choose truth and discovery.
I miss her every day. I see her every day.
Choose fresh shows, series, and original entertainment. This May, choose brand new. Choose DSTV.
I am sure that everyone is excited about the upcoming Rugby World Cup in September beyond international borders. Speaking of international borders, Ari Hochart is up next with international news. Stay tuned.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news. Starting off with tennis news first, and it is lots of grass court tournaments being played at the moment. Women's WTA and the ATP on the men's tour, and that is leading up to Wimbledon. That's going to start on the 3rd of July. So lots of preparation going into that, and lots of tournaments, especially in the United Kingdom. The Terra Wortmann tournament is being played on the men's circuit. It's being played in Halle, and it is Daniel Medvedev. He's the number 1 seed. He safely flew to the next round, and he beat Marcus Grigon. He's a qualifier by 6-4 and 6-3. Also number 2 seed, Stefanos Tsitsipas. He had a tough game against Grigor Barrère of France, beating him in 3 sets. Not good news for South African Lloyd Harris. He had a tough first round game. He played against the Canadian, and that is Denis Shapovalov, and he lost unfortunately in 2 sets, 7-6 and 6-4. Shapovalov the winner there. Also news from the tournament is that Nick Kyrgios of Australia, he withdrew from the tournament. He continued to have trouble with an injured knee. He was out for quite a few months and had surgery in January. So he's not going to play. Doesn't leave him lots of time to prepare for Wimbledon. He played in the final of the 2022 tournament against Novak Djokovic. That was a tournament that Novak Djokovic won. On to the women's side of all the tournaments happening. It is in the Birmingham Classic. It is good news for Venus Williams. She won her first round game against Camilla Giorgio of Italy. A tough game for her. It was tough 3 sets as well, and it is Venus Williams, 43 years old, still playing competitive tennis. Also Petra Kvitova, she's playing in the Bet1 Open, that's in Berlin, and she beat Karolina Pliskova. That is also in the first round, 6-3 and 6-4. And continuing international sports news with motor racing news, Formula 1 racing news. The next Grand Prix will be the 2nd of July. That will be the Austrian Grand Prix. And the past weekend was very successful for Honda Red Bull, and they will go to their home track, that is in Austria, for the next one. They had their 100th win as a Formula 1 team. They started racing in 2005 and had their first one in 2009 in China. Especially it is Max Verstappen, the Red Bull driver, that's doing very well. He had his 41st win, equaling Ayrton Senna's 41 wins. There's only 4 drivers ahead of him in all-time winners, and that is Alain Prost on 51, Sebastian Vettel on 54 wins, and the leaders at the moment, Michael Schumacher on 91, and the all-time leader is Lewis Hamilton on 103 wins. It is Max Verstappen that's still 25 years old, so there's a good chance that he will overtake Alain Prost and Sebastian Vettel within the next season or 2, and he will most likely also get close to winning 100 races on his own. Red Bull Honda also with their 100 wins. They're getting closer to 4 very elite teams. Only 4 teams have won more than 100 races. That is Ferrari, also Mercedes-Benz, then also McLaren and Williams. And closing today's international sports news with football news or soccer news, it is Euro 24 qualifying. The Euro 24 qualifying, or the tournament, will be played in Germany in 2024. In Group B, it was France that beat Greece by 1-0. They're leading comfortably in Group B. They've got 12 points after 4 games, and following them is Greece with 6 points after 3 games, and the Netherlands 2 points after 3 games. Also, England dominating in Group C. England beat North Macedonia by a big score by 7-0, and they've got 12 points after 4 games as well. And just behind them, Ukraine with 6 points after 3 games, and Italy struggling on 2 points after 3 games. That is the international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Now this brings us to the end of today's show. Catch the Sport Wrap again tomorrow at the same time and place. From me, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, it is goodbye.